Yeah. Hi, everybody. Today we have joining us Patrick Shank, who is totally innocent of his crime out of Medina County, as we have two other people that the judge there pretty much screwed over, and then his daughter, Sarah Willoughby, if I pronounced it right. Pat, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I just put the microphone close to you. Now, we have your daughter, and I'm going to ask her some questions, but give us an update on what is happening in your case.
What is the update? I'm in federal court. Now I'm arguing the appeal in federal court.
Okay. So you have an attorney, I take it?
Yes. This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
You've been down what? Yeah, you've been down what, 8 years or 15 years?
Can you say that again? I didn't hear it.
How long have you been down?
Almost 9 years.
Okay, and you have 9 years left?
No, 6 years.
6 years, okay. Thank God you don't have life for a crime you did not do.
Right.
Is there a time frame that you're looking at, with this attorney and some of the motions he's filed?
No, there is no time frame because you got to wait on federal. I don't know anything about law, so I can't give no answers on that.
Well, you probably know more than I do.
I don't know.
And Sarah, we're going to have a protest at the Medina County courthouse this summer. We're going to have Mrs. Kimbler signs up there, asking her to resign, and also have your father's name and James Tench and Frank, and I'm trying to figure out how many other people that both of those judges sentenced that is claiming innocence, and see the similarities. So we're going to hit a lot of the county jails this summer. I don't know if I'm going to be making it or not, but we're going to start promoting you guys, promoting the innocence. YouTube is great. We have a lot of views on YouTube, but it's not about the views. It's about action. Who's going to help? Sarah, have you heard from the so-called victim?
No, not since she attacked us on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. She didn't even know who I was, so she attacked me first. Then then Nancy went after her. Then, of course, you were right there. You all need to calm down.
And then all of our other friends joined in, so it was
kind
of funny.
But remember, too, when you're calm, you're going to win. I do believe your father's totally innocent. There's no reason why I wouldn't believe him. Pat, how is things going up at St. Clair's at Belmont with you?
Well, I hate this prison. It's not bad right now, but they always, after what David Bobby did to me and told staff members to torture me a lot.
Right,
so
David. Yeah, David Bobby now is the warden of a private institution.
Yeah, he's But anyhow, I just want to I don't know if I like to talk about the judges in Medina a little bit, how they knew they were doing wrong and they were just doing it. They were staging my courtroom. They were telling that typing lady not to type, whatever she does, whatever that's called, that makes the transcript.
Yeah, feel free, because I'm tagging Judge Kimbler and everything. So feel free.
Right, he knows what he did, and I hope Mr. Kimbler can hear me. That he staged my court. You staged my courtroom. He staged it, and he did wrong. He wouldn't let me understand. I was telling my lawyers I want to understand. He refused to allow me to be heard and all my witnesses to be heard. He just did me wrong. He should not be a judge. He should be thrown in prison right now. He knows I was innocent. She ran off the stand, admitting it was all lies, and he didn't give a crap. He said he didn't give a crap.
Attorney. Yeah, I see what you're saying there, and we know the how corrupt he was through not just you, Frank, and now James Tench, who sits on death row. He was not allowed to testify as well. But how can a judge get away with not letting the defendant testify? when it's his
They
trial.
can't. They stage your courtroom. They don't put it in the transcripts. They stop the lady from translating it to transcripts, and that way it doesn't look like anything. It just looks like it's dismissing or whatever. Right. That's what they do in Medina County. They're so crooked.
Right. I know from when I went to court 30 some years ago, the attorney said the worst thing is for somebody to testify that, especially that's wrongfully convicted of a sex offense. They'll tear you apart. And so maybe that part might have been good, but the witnesses, they should have allowed to testify, such as, I don't know if your daughter was allowed or not. Were you allowed, Sarah?
Yeah, I testified, but my brother didn't.
Was he allowed to or no?
I don't think so. I don't think he was even given a chance to. Like, the first trial, neither of us were allowed to, which is bull. But, I mean, he was represented by somebody else, and then he had a different judge even for the first trial.
What we need to start doing is contacting the news media in Cleveland on a regular basis to give an update. And the news media, which, Sarah, you would have to handle any of that because the news media is not my ally right now. You know, well, my cousin worked for Fox 8 for 35 years with Tim Taylor, Kathy Cronenberger.
Is there any way we can be heard, Jim? Can we find a way to get me interviewed and my kids interviewed under this so I can let people know what they did to me?
Well, if Sarah could send this video to any of the news people, but I would send an email to Cleveland.com, the Plain Dealer, the Sun Post. I don't know if Medina's got a newspaper or not.
The Medina Gazette.
Yeah, then you need it definitely right there, and you need to put Kimbler on blast.
From an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
Yeah, we'll have your back, but put him on blast. But I'll only make sure you know that to be the truth. Because if not...
The biggest thing, Jim, is I want the news to know I love my kids more than anything in the world, and I would never allow them to do drugs or anything. And they said I drugged my kids, and I did not. Sarah, did I ever give you anything?
Sarah, I'm sure I'm sure he didn't because we went through this before. Why would they say that though?
Because the girl said I did to put him to sleep.
What's here?
I said it made their story more believable to think that if we were drugged, then he would be able to do what he wanted with them, but we were never drugged. You know?
Right. How many victims was there? One, right?
Well, technically,
two.
Ruby, and then to back up her story, there was Kara and then Nicole that said stuff, but they never said that my dad raped them. They just said he tried to touch them inappropriately, but he never.
Yeah. Was the conviction actually rape itself?
I think there was rape and
GSI.
Something with minor, sexual misconduct with minor.
I was thinking if he wasn't charged or convicted of rape, he could file for judicial. But if there's rape involved, he's not eligible. The only good thing for your father right now, and I believe he can win this, but since you don't have life, he's going home regardless in 6 years, which is still a long time. And we have to, these videos be, every couple months, so we keep refreshing people. I had people in the past ask how Pat was doing. Because they, right now we're up to 400 people on our YouTube channel. And legislators as well. You might also want to write, what's his name? He's the greatest representative from your area. He was a county commissioner in Medina. He is great. He's a Republican, though, but he's great. And you, let me see if I can find his name.
Is there any way we can get a hold of him?
Yeah. I'm going to give Sarah his name if I can find it. Because I think let me do it this way. Medina County State.
I tried getting a hold of the Channel 5 News and they never got back to me.
Channel 5 is not our ally. Representative, skip to search, sworn, Hambly, Steve Hambly. Hambley. You know, and you could say I refer him, but there's also, I don't know who the senator is. Let me see who the senator. I do know, but I just can't remember.
Sheriff Brown?
No, he's
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
no, he's a U.S. senator,
Okay.
state senator, Medina. Damn, I put down mafia. Medina. I still can't spell. That's bad. Let's see who the. I know who the state senator is.
My son Jason wanted to be on with us today too, but I guess you can't have a couple people at one time on it, or no?
Is it
Yeah, he
Medina?
said he's gonna reschedule
Okay.
when it's just gonna be me, Jim, and Jason.
I think it's Roman Check. And don't contact him. He's an idiot. I mean, he's
No,
on
I
my,
got this.
you know, and I hope he
down the
watches
Steve
it.
guy's name.
Yeah, Steve is a Christian man out of Medina County. He is associated with the guy that was my youth pastor. You might also want to contact the churches, like Pastor Terry Holly. He's the district coordinator for a Baptist conference, and I don't remember the name of his church, but it's in Medina County. Start contacting the churches. Meet with the pastors. You know, yeah, you will have more of a rough time with the white pastors, but they're the ones with the money and the knowledge. So meet with them and convince them. You know,
How can they get away with all this corruption and not be in prison? I don't understand this. I mean, I remember Summit County went down for this at one time. How come they ain't taking care of Medina with all this crookedness?
somebody's protecting Medina.
Who?
I don't know.
Snooty rich people, that's who's
Yeah.
protecting.
Now I'm real good friends with Bill Lamb, who sits on council in Medina. He used to be the mayor at one time. We went to school together. But he really
How
can't.
can they get away with all this
Yeah.
throwing people, innocent people in prison? I don't understand that.
Sarah called Bill Lamb up and explained to him the situation. See if he would write a letter on your behalf as well to the courts. Because I'm sure he's gotten a lot of complaints because of Kimbler, knowing Kimbler is a county judge, which means he's a state employee. And his wife, if you look at his wife, she's got a lot of complaints against her because a lot of her husband's cases are going in front of her now, which is a conflict of interest. So that should not be allowed, Pat.
No, that should be. Yeah, that's more crooked stuff in Medina County. More crooked stuff.
Right. I know your daughter's been a big part of your fighting your innocence. Last year she couldn't come to our protest because of a baby being, on its way. And that's understandable. But maybe this year, if we could form either at Medina County or Cotton County, but have it hey Pat, I'm going to
call you right back right now, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Well, you need to do more of the talking. He's doing
I don't know
good.
what to say.
Yeah, he's doing good, and I think
I feel
if
like
you,
he needs to get it out, although honestly, he needs to talk. Like, he never got to voice his opinion on any of this stuff.
did the newspaper cover it, or the media?
What?
Did the media cover his story?
No, he never got to say anything about it. Like,
Yeah.
he just sat there and took it, whatever was said about him. Like he wasn't allowed to say anything else.
Well, you can be his voice now by contacting the media, and I think you'll do fine there. Remember, your dad's signs was all over Channel 5 last year. So, Channel 5 I do get along with, though, but they're idiots.
Hello. This is a prepaid debit. This call is from a collection facility.
Call
and is
Reagan.
monitoring
Mike Reagan
Thank you for using
for Channel 5
PayPal.
News, investigative reporter. Hey, I'm telling your daughter to contact Ron Reagan of Channel 5 News, the investigative reporter, and explain to him. He interviewed me about 6 years ago on the Pro Board. I think he is willing, and he paid for the voice analyst test for another guy by the name of Gary Reese. That was from Cleveland, that was convicted of rape. And that actually got him out of prison through the Innocence Project because he passed it 5 times. The lady failed it 5 times. And this is almost 100% accurate. But it's very costly, and you guys would not be able to afford it. That's why you need to let the news kind of handle it and do it themselves. Contact every news channel. 19 will not support us. 5 kind of started to at our last protest. So I stay out of the news in Cleveland area because of my family. So, but in your case, I don't think either one of you have a chance.
Is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
Pat, I'm going to work on trying to do some interviews inside the prison this next year. Once COVID is over, I kind of made a lot of enemies during the winter with the ODRC and the governor. The governor sent a nice memo to the legislators telling them not to work with me because I blamed them for the deaths inside the prison system of COVID. Thank God you didn't get hit by it, but we lost over 100 people. But getting back to your case. Oh, you had it. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I was with it.
Well,
I thought I was going to die, too.
Yeah, a lot of my friends died, this last year.
People for medical help. They wouldn't give me any.
Right.
So now I don't go down there for nothing. I don't want their shots. I don't want nothing here.
Right. I've been in contact with Kardashian lately, too. I'm trying to get her involved in promoting our organization. She's working with a guy by...
Kardashians, you said?
Yeah. She's working with a guy by the name of Keith... Kevin Keith, who was convicted of murder back years ago. They got him off death row, and they know he's innocent.
I heard that.
Yeah,
why don't you tell her that I'm an artist and they took my career from me because of their lies? Because Mark tried to hurt my daughter. Mark tried to have sex with my daughter, and I'm the one that hit him, and I'm the one that physically
Wait a second. Who's Mark?
Mark is the guy that took Ruby to the police station for sale.
He's tried, Sarah, he tried to force you or somebody else?
No, he was in the bathroom with Ruby at our house, and they were doing stuff, and I walked in, and then they were trying to get me to join. So I went down and told my dad, and things escalated from there.
Well, you should have told your dad. Yeah, you did the right thing.
My dad kicked him out and everything, and that's how this all started. It started with a party that ended bad. My dad had his friends over. We had our friends over, and then things led to another, and then it ended with my dad.
Yeah, I think it's still a learning experience for you since you're a mother now. Not to have idiots over like that. Of course, you never know.
Well, that's the thing. We didn't know that.
My band membership, we were having a band meeting downstairs. It wasn't a party, Sarah. It was just a band get together, and the guy, and then Mark, he brought some stuff over, but he had an ID thing. He was old enough to drink, but he had a fake ID because Officer John made him a fake ID. That's how I found out he had a fake ID because Officer John made it for him.
Hey guys, if you're watching live today on YouTube, please say hi so I know how many people are watching. I see 12 so far. I don't even know who they are, but that's fine. I welcome your victims to make comments. I won't hold back. If I believe somebody's innocent, I'll have your back. And she blocked me though on YouTube last time. So
is anybody making any comments?
No. I think the ones that are decent and they believe you could possibly be innocent aren't going to make too many comments, at least on here. They will, if anything, they will inbox me.
Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
So, I want to do a Facebook Live with you sometime. But maybe I'm thinking that maybe we'll just do Sarah for that if it's okay with you.
All right. How can we get hurt more, Jim? I need to be heard more, a lot more. I need for people to hear what happened.
As well as Sarah, if I was you, I would also be writing. I'd be writing the Innocence Project. You pled not guilty, or did you play? You pled not guilty.
Not guilty because I didn't do it.
Okay.
Not guilty. I fought. I took it to the box.
Okay. Remember this too. Keep writing the Innocence Project, because I know one guy that tried 6 times. They finally took his case, but write Mark Gotze. They have a non-DNA section of the Innocence Project. So,
but I got DNA taken. I was proved innocent on that. I did DNA testing. I wanted it. They didn't even have to get a warrant. I gave it. I gave it all, blood, swab, and everything.
But if there was any type of a rape, you would think there would be DNA.
Well, not according to them. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say exactly on here what they consider rape to be, but it's any type of penetration is what I would say, and and any touching is GSI, which carries up to, I think, 7 years for each one. But normally they're run at concurrent. They did on you too, unless you wouldn't be getting out this quickly.
Regardless, there's no evidence that he did any of this shit. So it's like annoying that no matter how many times we appeal, they keep denying.
Sarah, yeah, you need to be a spokesperson. Let me contact Regan of Channel 5 and see if he would be willing to do an interview with you, or because I'll contact Fox 8 because I have a lot of friends there. 3 usually doesn't support us, and 19 don't.
No.
And I don't know anybody at the newspaper in Columbus. I mean, in where you live, Columbus, I do, but they don't like me, so they won't report anything I say. They're all one-sided. I guarantee they would take the establishment's side before they will the victim, even if the victim is innocent.
Well, I guarantee if it happened to one of them, they wouldn't be one-sided, would they?
Right, and it has happened to a judge here in Franklin County who did not support us. Now he does. So,
see?
yeah, and you can't. Yeah, remember too, these guys are taught one-sided, so you really can't blame them until, because someday they're going to know the truth. So.
I just wanted her, Jim, so bad. I want this done. I want. This is bullcrap. If Sarah would talk to Kara, and Kara would tell the truth, she knows
This call is originating from an
Do not contact Kara.
And monitored.
Yeah,
they all did this over for a year.
Yeah.
Practicing
Yeah.
Wallace and Rusty's basement.
yeah. I told Sarah I don't think she should contact Kara because that is against the ODRC policy of contacting the victim, through another
That's
family
no victim.
member.
That's just someone that went to lie. She's not no victim. She lied for them. The other witnesses were only told about the incident. They said Ruby told her. No one.
Yeah.
That's all it was. Just all hearsay.
Yeah, but I still would be careful with that because I don't want to see them go after Sarah because that could be.
Doesn't matter. I mean, she blocked me anyway. I tried reaching out to her.
She did? Okay. Well, is there anybody else that knows he's innocent besides your brother?
Like, what do you mean? Like, there's a whole bunch of people that think he's innocent. Like, the people that were defending him on that YouTube channel know he's innocent.
Would any of them be willing to do YouTubes?
I mean, not easily. Jesse's,
We don't have to use their name. We don't have to use their name.
well, she's in the,
Well, that don't matter. She's in
Army.
in the Air Force and somewhere in different places. And
Okay, well,
so, no, we don't mind using. They don't mind using their names. They know I'm innocent.
right.
They just are in different places. That's the hard part.
Right.
Yeah, like the people that know he's innocent, like, aren't at reach. That's the problem anymore. They used to be, but a lot of people that used
Sarah,
to be
could you
hanging
do us a
around
favor trying to get a
moved
hold of
away.
these people, though? Could you get a hold of some people for me, Sarah?
Yeah, I mean, you know,
As long as they're not,
people.
as long as they're not part of the victims.
No.
Okay.
I mean, there was a girl that lived with us for years that would testify that my dad is, a good man.
Well, if this would have happened, I would think that you guys would have been victims, and that girl that lived with you. So right there kind of proves he's not, plus his story has never changed, which is also a sign of innocence. If he would have been guilty, he won't look you in the eye, first of all. The story changes every time. And I listen to this because I want to see if his story stays the same, and it has. Because I can't take, Pat, like I told somebody else, I can't take your word at the beginning.
This call is
But
from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
But I believe you're innocent now, 100% innocent.
Oh, Jim, there's a lot more than me that's innocent here, I'll tell you that.
There's no doubt. Boy, is he growing.
Yeah.
But your grandson, he's big now. He was just a baby last year, I think.
Well, we can have visits now. They started visits, so if you get on my visit list, Jim, you can come and visit me.
Yeah, the problem is because of my heart, I'm staying home most of the time now. If you remember last spring, I almost died. I went in for a contrast dye, and it caused me to cold twice and have 2 heart attacks. I was in the hospital for almost 4 months. So I'm kind of staying in the background, but the group's going to do some protesting. We need some new board members. I would like to get somebody from Cleveland area, somebody that has time, that can dedicate a few hours a week. So, no, that's okay. You can talk.
When I get out, I'm going to get involved with you. Trust me.
Well, first,
I guarantee you that.
remember, we can't get anybody out, but we hope that the videos will help.
Right, they do help, actually.
And I've been contacting attorneys. If you contact attorneys that have big law firms, they usually have a pro bono section there. But Nancy said you had an attorney.
We do, but he's only by himself though, so maybe I could use a bigger, law firm.
Well, it also depends on how good this attorney is. If he's good, stay with him.
I don't know. That's the problem. I ain't got no paperwork. None.
How do you know he's working on your case?
I call him and he tells me he does.
Do you see any evidence?
Not yet, no. Well, yeah, a little bit on the some of the stuff that was sent in on to me by Nancy, but I don't see anything new lately, no. I have to call Ron. Ron usually fills me in on it and will send me stuff.
Yeah. Sarah, would you be able to contact his attorney to see if he can email you some of the documents he filed?
Who, Ron
That's what I need
or
right now to see what he's doing now, you know?
The attorney that's representing your father.
well, there's Dave and then there's Ron.
Ron. Isn't that the one that...
Dave is the federal. Dave is my federal attorney, and Ron's the local attorney.
So which one would I be contacting?
Both. No, I've contacted... Which one do you have a motion in right now? Federal?
Yeah.
You have one.
The federal attorney.
remaining.
Yeah, I'm in federal.
And see if they could email you the stuff so that you can have a record of it, so you know he's actually doing something. Hey,
You want me
Pat.
to call back or you want me to wait?
You don't need to call back anymore today. If people don't like to listen usually more than a half hour. But we will do a Facebook Live. But I'm thinking about just doing Sarah on that in the next week or so. We could go around her schedule. Huh?
This is going to end right now. It's going to end. I only have 1 minute left.
Okay, brother.
I'll give you a holler this week sometime, okay?
Okay.
Next week, I mean.
Thanks.
All
Bye-bye.
right, take care. Bye.
I'm a little bit concerned about the attorneys. To make, I notice a lot of attorneys will say things are getting done. And I'm not saying they haven't done anything, but they should at least send a copy of the documents. And are you his power of attorney?
Me?
Yeah,
I think Nancy has power of attorney.
I think you should be. That's my opinion.
Me?
Yeah, your family.
Oh, sorry. My mom has power of attorney. Sorry.
Okay, good. At least one of you. That's actually good because I'm not saying Nancy wouldn't be good at it, but it should always be within the family.
Well, my mom has power. My mom has power of attorney. I think. I don't know. I think Nancy does too, though.
Well, Nancy, if she has power of attorney, Nancy can't.
Oh, okay. I don't know how it works.
Who handled his stimulus pay? Your mother?
No, Nancy gets the stimulus.
Ask your mother to do it in the future if there's any more.
That's fucked up, right?
Well, she gives it right to him.
Does she?
Well, it cost me enough that he would, I'm gonna stay there.
Because you're getting divorced, so why would he send you the money? Sorry.
No, that's okay. I heard they were getting divorced, but they, well, you can't. I mean, there's always a reason for everything. So,
right.
I like Pat myself. I think it's better when you do a lot of the interviews. Just like today, he kind of showed a lot of anger, which he should, but you have to be calm to convince people. You don't want to see the anger part because then they assume he's guilty. Well, inbox me what day you'd be available for a Facebook Live. We're doing on Voice of Reform, and I will tag Judge Kimbler in it. So.
Okay.
And then, and you could say whatever you want to him. If you cuss at him, that's fine. I'm just going to pretend.
I talked to Judge Kimbler. I did an oil change on his car.
Yeah. You change oil?
Yeah.
Wow.
And he didn't even remember my dad's case. Because I was kind of standoffish with him about it. And I said, yeah, you were a judge in my dad's trial, and he's like, oh, what's your dad's name? I told him what the case was, and I'm like, it was one of your last trials, and he claimed that he didn't remember.
Yeah, he's lying there. You don't forget, especially last trials, but his wife took over, so it continues. It's like in the family, who's going to take over next? Their son, and his son's an attorney too, I heard. So.
Yeah.
There's.
That was before COVID though, because I got let go because of COVID, but now I'm changing oil again in North Homestead. So.
Oh, that's where a lot of my family live. Well, my friends live in North Homestead.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep doing this. We got to do a better job than last time. We have to get the message out. We have to. Contact the media on a regular basis. We need to try to find out if somebody would donate the time to do a voice analyst test, and only have it public. If it goes in our favor. Hi. Hi.
Give me 1 second. I gotta say bye to her really quick.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye. I'll text you. Sorry,
that's
husband's
okay.
expecting his brother over at our house, so I just.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to close this, but I got to talk to you for a second after this. But I'm going to close this video. And we'll be on it again in a couple of weeks with Pat. The reason